Just tell me go and I will.
No. Hold on. Okay. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Africa's Brain Bank STEM program. We are streaming live on YouTube, and today, our amazing Dr. Aminata Sessay, the program director for African High School Association, and a pillar in this program, will be presenting a development of civic virtue. Dr. Sessay, you look amazing. You look beautiful. I know you are not in Manchester. I know you are back home in Sierra Leone. So thank you for seeing your way. I would give you the mic so you can properly introduce yourself. But on behalf of Africa's Brain Bank and Africa High School Association, I want to really appreciate you for sticking with us for this many years. We started during the pandemic and with all the challenges, but we're not going to focus on the challenge now. The good thing is that the program is running and we are almost done with the first batch of students. Thank you so much, Dr. Sessay, and the mic is yours to introduce yourself and then take it from there.
Good day, everybody. I hope you can hear me. Reverend, can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Thank you. Good day, everybody around the continent and America, to our brothers and sisters. I'm Dr. Aminata Sessay. I'm CEO for Demba Education in Sierra Leone. But more importantly, I am the director of the Africa High Schools Association, a branch of the African Brain Bank. And we are here today to talk about one of the strands of the 12 STEM mentoring program. The strand today talks about the development of civic virtue. The development of civic virtue. What is civic virtue? Civic virtue refers to the moral qualities, habits, and behaviors that contribute to the health and well-being of a community and society by prioritizing the common good over individual self-interest. It entails the understanding of the role of an individual in the success of society. As such, it involves the dedication of individuals to the common welfare of society. Civic virtue and the law of human performance. Professor Bagayoko spoke to us about the law of human performance, which states that the time it takes an individual to perform a given simple task decreases as the number of times the individual practices the task increases. So the time it takes you to perform a task will decrease the more you practice it. The more you practice it. And mathematically, it has a formula which says T is equal to A plus B bracket N plus E bracket minus P, or T equals to A plus B divided by bracket N plus E bracket to the power of P. Now, that equation may look like a mouthful, and those who don't like equations or formulas or mathematics may want to worry about it. But at this point, I don't want you to worry about it. We'll talk about it later. What is citizenship education? Citizenship refers to the legal and political right of belonging to a particular country. It is the status of membership of a particular state or country which confers on the holder some constitutional rights and obligations or duties to perform as a citizen. For you to call yourself a citizen, you must be aware of your roles and responsibilities before you talk about your rights. Citizenship education refers to that type of education given to a person who had the legal right of belonging to a given country, which gives them the awareness of laid down rules, which is called the Constitution. There are basically three types of citizens, namely active citizens, someone who actively participates in their community and contributes to its well-being. This involves taking initiative, engaging in civic life, and working with others to address social issues that improve the community.
Dr. Sessay, sorry to disturb you, but we cannot see we only see from your eyes up. Can you adjust your camera? I sent you a message, but I don't know.
Okay,
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 perfect. There you
okay.
are. Perfect. Go ahead.
All right, okay.
Just want to make sure it's not an AI version of you speaking. Go ahead. Go ahead. You're
Okay,
fine.
you don't want you want to see my pretty dress?
No, no, yeah, you're fine now. Go ahead.
Okay. Now, passive citizens are those who do not participate in civic or political life or engage in public discourse, community involvement, or hold representatives accountable. They are not bothered. They don't care what they do. They may be very skeptical of government or distrustful of institutions, leading to lack of engagement. And the third type of citizen is the laissez-faire. It's a French word, laissez-faire citizens. These are people who believe that the businesses and individuals should be largely left to their own devices. They believe minimal government involvement in their day-to-day life. My question is, which of these three types are you? And is there evidence you can show for the type you are? We'll come back to the formula for the law of human performance. It gives the formula and it says A, B, E, and P are constants that vary. A, with the task in hand, that means the simplicity or the complexity of the task. B, with the individual performing the task. With the individual in the sense of the individual's background. Do you have any prior knowledge of the task you're about to undertake? So the person who has prior knowledge of the task and somebody who has no knowledge of the task will spend different times. T is the time it takes for an individual to perform a task to perfection. A is the psychological limit, the physiological limit or minimum time to perform that task. There is no task that you can carry out in zero time. There must be a physiological limit for the task to be performed. B, poor experience of or prior knowledge of the task to be performed, if you have little or no knowledge. E, good experience of prior knowledge or prior knowledge of the task to be performed. B and E have opposite effects on an individual's ability. They also affect the number of practices and the time to perfect the task. And P is the learning rate. I insist on going back to this law of human performance because it is really the backbone of what we're trying to do with the African Brain Bank Mentoring Program. We are not just talking about people succeeding, we are talking about excellence. What do you do to excel in whatever you do? Whether it's civic virtue, whether it's leadership, whether it's tutoring, whatever you do, how do you excel to do more than just the ordinary? So in short, practice makes perfect. Okay. A genius is mostly a result of sustained competitive practice or effort. And you can see that in sports, in arts, and academia. So to excel in whatever you do, whether it's at school, college, university, or in employment, you must make sustained practice a habit. If you do all the above, you can achieve excellence in anything you engage in. The sky will be your limit. So you no longer say, oh, me, I'm not good at this, I'm not good at that. The same is applicable to civic virtue because it involves the dedication of individuals to the common welfare of society. It's not just tiptoeing. You just dip your toe in something. Today you go and volunteer in a place for one day. You don't sustain it. The next day you move on to something else. It has to be dedication. You have to demonstrate dedication and you have to show resilience. Okay? And civic engagement can happen at different levels. It can be at local, regional, national, or international level. Regarding local level, youth civic action in Africa involves innovative social media, community development initiatives, and participation. For example, in Sierra Leone, it involves national peace building efforts, guided by a national youth strategy and supported by programs like the National Action Plan on Youth, Peace and Security, and the Cutting Through Civic Education Strategy. I have no doubt similar programs exist in other African countries, but it is the responsibility of young people to find out what is happening in their communities and how they can contribute. Because all this will have profound impact on your success. At continental level, the African Union promotes youth participation in community development through frameworks like the African Youth Charter, which outlines youth rights and responsibilities in governance and development. The AU Youth Envoy facilitates youth engagement via social media, listening tours, and policy advocacy to ensure that their voices are heard in decision making, thereby fostering youth ownership, empowerment, and effective contributions to the community well-being and development across the continent. The office of
Dr.
the
Sessay, one
AU,
second. Doctor, are you
yes,
still going to share your screen?
I'm sharing it. Are you not seeing it?
No, your screen is not, you're not sharing. That's why I just figured out you
Ah,
didn't realize.
oh, okay. All right. So let me just escape. I thought I was sharing. Okay, can you see my screen now? Wait. Okay, let me go back to share.
I mean, you shared it earlier before we went live, but I just realized that you probably don't know you're not sharing.
Okay. So what? Okay. Okay. So let me share again. Civic virtue. Link can edit link message send.
Yeah, you can just continue from where you were, but
Okay. I thought you were seeing my screen.
no, that's okay. Those things happen.
Okay. Um,
Students, just
just
bear with us, okay?
bear with us. I thought you were seeing my screen. Okay. Well. Mm, no, they need to see my screen because I want them to follow it.
Okay. I mean, you shared it earlier, so I don't know.
Okay, okay, let me go back to share.
Okay, let me see if I can open the email you sent to me and share it. But I mean, you keep trying to share whoever shares first.
Okay,
It'll be better if you share so you can control the slides.
yes, let me share. Share, copy link. No.
Because you have about 18 slides.
Yes, I have 18 slides.
You know what?
So,
Let me just go ahead and share it.
okay, so let me go to,
Wait, can you see my screen?
yes, I can see your screen.
Okay, which slide do you want me to go to?
Go to slide 8. Okay. Okay.
Wait, slide 8. Okay.
Okay, let's go down. Go to slide 10. I think I was on slide 10 now.
Okay. All right. Can you see the
Okay.
slide 10?
11,
You want me to go to 11?
12. Okay, yeah, this is where I was. Okay. Uh, can you see the screen now?
I'm sharing. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, I can see your screen. Can others see it?
Well, they are muted, so go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. So I was talking about. Sorry about that. I was talking about civic engagement in
At the
civic
local level.
engagement at local level. Next slide. Okay.
I should go to the next slide.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So I discussed civic engagement at continental, local, and continental level, and also at global level. It's very important for you to be aware that your civic engagement doesn't only end in your country or your continent. As young people, you need to be engaged at global level because the world is now a global village. Okay? One of the reasons why the African Brain Bank is trying to mentor you while you are still in Africa is for you to be empowered so that you are able to engage at international level. You are able to seek employment at international level. You try to be so knowledgeable enough to compete for jobs in and out of your country. So in terms of civic engagement at global level, active community participation encourages you to use local knowledge and resources. It also promotes a more sustainable approach to development and local independence, and it instills a sense of accountability. Okay? There are 9 pillars of youth participation at at global level, and that includes health, education, economic empowerment, social inclusion and equity, security and governance, active citizenship, environment, and global mobility. Which of these pillars are you engaged in? Okay? So the next one is civic uh, 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 impact and benefits of youth participation. What are the benefits? What is the impact of you getting engaged in civic activity? What are the benefits? If you are engaged in civic activity, it brings empowerment and ownership. It gives skills development, community development, representation at local, community, national, or state, and international or regional level. Regarding the benefits, you learn vital life skills. You develop knowledge on human rights. You learn about citizenship. You promote positive civic action. Okay? Now, what are the key areas of civic action, of areas of youth civic action? Now, we know there are a lot of challenges. People talk about unemployment and negative perceptions of young people. But young people are increasingly involved in advocacy, leadership, and contributing to socio-economic progress through various government and non-governmental agencies, NGOs. The key areas of civic action are advocacy and social media, community development, national and peace building efforts, innovation and entrepreneurship, leadership and skill development. These are all areas of civic action. Okay? Now, what are the next steps for you? Now that you are aware of these areas, you need to get involved locally by volunteering for community projects so that you can make direct impact on your community. You need to stay informed about current events and local governance to understand where your voice matters. You need to use social media responsibly to raise awareness and advocate for positive change. You need to encourage others by educating your peers on the importance of their own civic role. And you need to support sustainable practices by promoting local initiatives in your community. Okay? I asked you to be muted because I have lots of questions here which I want us to go through, considering what I've gone through. So I'm going to ask Reverend Palm to unmute you for us to go through the questions and contributions.
Okay.
So first I'm going to ask, before I go on to the questions, is there any contribution that anybody wants to make or question before we go on to the questions that I want you to answer? So you can unmute everybody now.
No, those who want to ask questions can unmute themselves. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I have allowed participants to unmute themselves. So anybody
If
wants
they
to,
want to, if they want to contribute or ask questions.
yeah, they can unmute themselves and then ask the question, or they can raise their hand. So please, if you have any questions or comments, you can unmute yourself. I see Salifu and Ibrahim have unmuted themselves, so you guys can go ahead. Go ahead, Ibrahim.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Hello.
Hello, Ibrahim. How are you?
I'm a student of Dala University.
Yes.
Dala
Can you speak up a little bit, Ibrahim? Speak up a little bit.
I have a question to ask Dr. Sessay.
Yes, go on.
What role does civic education play in promoting civic virtue among young people, especially in Africa?
Okay. What role does civic education play in promoting civic action?
Civic
Now,
among
you are breaking.
more especially.
Hello? Okay, let me just say what I have heard is that you say, what role does civic education in what?
Education,
I
please.
didn't I didn't get the second part of the question.
Okay. What role does civic education play in promoting civic virtue among young people, more especially in Africa?
Okay. Yeah. Well, we've gone through that actually. That if you civic education is making you aware of your roles and responsibilities in society. Okay. If you have that education, because they, like in Sierra Leone, for example, they do civic education in schools, is to bring awareness to you that you don't just say, I'm a citizen. For example, what the late President John F. Kennedy said was that don't ask what my country can do for me, ask what I can do for my country. Okay? So if you have civic education, it means you are aware of your rights as well as your obligations. Okay? So when we go through these questions, you will see some of them will be answered, your question will be more answered in more detail. But
Dr.
basically,
Sessay, may
yeah,
I
yes,
share your slide number 14
yes,
also answers that question.
yes.
And correct me if I'm wrong, where it says the
Yes,
impact and
because
benefits of
it
youth.
empowers ownership,
Yes.
it gives you skills development, it gives you community development, it gives you representation at local. Because if you are aware, it's more civic education is more about your awareness of what it is you should do for your community, how you need to empower yourself, how you need to own the activities that are happening in your community. Okay? And you benefit as well. If you are involved, you benefit too because you learn vital skills like what we're giving you now. When you are learning about AI, you are learning about technology, different aspects of technology, the role of technology in your education. You develop your knowledge on human rights. So if you are somebody who is concerned about human rights, you are able to have that awareness and participate effectively. You are able to learn about citizenship. Citizenship is not just saying, not just having your country's passport, not just having an ID card, being able to vote when you should vote, being able to speak out when you need to speak out. Okay? Does that answer your question?
Okay, Ibrahim, there's some noise coming from you, but you guys will have a copy of the slide. It'll be on the YouTube and also on the WhatsApp forum. So I see Yakub. Wait, Salifu, did you have a question before we go to Yakuba?
Yes. Maybe we can prioritize the student. Let them ask, then I can ask later.
No, go ahead, Salifu. Go ahead and ask. Then we'll go to Yakuba.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Sessay. This is one topic, and I was so happy when it was introduced in Sierra Leone to be taught in schools, because there is one myth talking about civic education. It involves a lot of things like the individual knowing their rights. You know, we have people who are whistleblowers. Assuming there are some things that are going on and you speak up, you could be considered as one that is actually causing incitement. So, how do we play this balance, in the midst of all of this? Yeah.
Whistleblowing in the community, whistleblowing in employment, or where?
I'm talking generally in the country
Okay.
because, say for
Generally,
example,
see,
say
yeah,
let me elaborate. Say for
yes.
example, we have some government that are bad governments, and you as a citizen, it is your right to speak up, especially being objective in whatever thing you are doing. And there are some cases when you speak up, you could be far or considered or associated to one side of the coin. So the question is, how do we make the balance in all of this?
The balance is about, I talk about integrity. As long as you know that what you're saying is factual, it is not biased. That is why when you hear something, you need to do your research. You need to know your research to find out that what you're saying is factual. If what you're saying is honest, people have given their lives for honesty, for speaking out. People have gone to prison for speaking out. But being silent should not be an option. Okay? Because there will be no change if everybody tried to toe the line. There will be no positive change. So what I'll say, I'm not saying people should put their lives in danger, but when you think what you're saying is right, say it, no matter what the result and what the consequences are. Okay.
Dr. Sessay, may I?
And also, yes,
No,
Reverend, yes, you can say. Go on.
okay, no, I just wanted to weigh in briefly, and thank you so much for putting in the time to do this. This was one of the strands that I added to the systemic mentoring, because it is very important. Mr. Salifu, we also need to sensitize the government about the importance of youth participation in policy, in civic matters. They cannot be threatened by the youth. There are a lot of governments that are threatened by the youth, because the youth, today's youth, are more enlightened and more exposed than the current leaders of the continent. They know their rights. They have access to internet, artificial intelligence. So it is important that we sensitize the government with programs like this, educate them, and also encourage them to involve the youth in policies. A lot of African countries have Ministry of Youth. Some of them is youth and sports, and some of them now have diaspora offices or Ministry of Diaspora Affairs. So educating the government and sensitizing the youth will remove some of that fear, that they may have to target people that are trying to just exercise their civic duties as inciting violence. Dr. Sessay.
Yeah. Okay. So does that answer your question, Mr. Salifu? Salifu, you are muted.
Yes, it does. It does.
Okay,
Yes.
let's go to Yakuba. Is Yakuba, unmute yourself and ask your question.
Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Dr. Sessay.
Good afternoon.
Yeah. Thank you very much for this wonderful topic, civic education. It's I made this topic when I was in high school, but it's really interesting to me for me to understand it today. And my question here is now, I want to know what are some of the ways citizens can participate in the governance of their local community.
Okay, that again, if you look at the slides, it gives you examples of activities that go on at local level, areas of, for example, go to slide 15, you'll see areas for youth civic action, okay? You can engage in advocacy and social media. You can engage in community development. You can engage in national and peace building efforts, innovation and entrepreneurship, leadership and skill development. We all have a part to play. When I talk about youth civic action, what I do not like to see when youth take to violence, that is not productive. It is counterproductive. And it happens because of fake news. People don't get their facts right, and they want to take action. If you don't do your research, you don't have the right information, you may take action that is counterproductive. Okay,
That is so
to your
correct.
goals, to your goals. Okay, and many a time young people say there's no employment, there's nothing. Volunteering is one very, very good way of attaching yourself to organizations and institutions where you learn skills, where you learn to network. And it doesn't matter where you are, networking helps to find you employment. Networking helps to find you continuous professional development. Because when you register, when you go on internships and you go on volunteering, sometimes you may think it's boring, but there'll be one opportunity where you'll be sent for some capacity building, which would then be your next step to employment. So you really have to look at these areas of advocacy, community development, and so on and so forth. So I think I want to go on to my own questions now.
Yeah, Dr.
Okay.
Sessay, real quick before you go, what you're saying is so true, and I thank Mr. Yakuba for that question. We have seen, even in the United States and in Africa, where one person, one young person puts something on social media, it goes viral, people join in disputes that are really baseless. They get involved, some of them, they burn down buildings, they destroy the community infrastructure, just because one person had a dispute with somebody and they recruited other people. So you can't follow people blindly. Like Dr. Sessay said, do your research. The fact that somebody or a friend of yours invite you to a protest doesn't mean you should go. You need to find out if it is what is it's what carrying that monkey. You know, and when I say monkey, I'm talking about problems or getting involved in a dispute that is baseless, you know, or somebody's personal agenda, or maybe somebody's political enemies hire somebody to set up somebody. So it is very, very important to have your own identity, to be the authentic you, to have integrity, to be informed. This day and age, nobody has excuses. You can do research, and with AI would narrow it down more than just Google. AI would narrow it down. Ask AI, is this real? Ask questions and be informed. And also talk to the person, the leader. Find out what their motivations are. Question them. You know, it is so important because there have been unnecessary battles and wars that came from misinformation. You know, talk about psychological warfare. So it is so critical, but because of time, Dr. Sessay, go ahead with your question because we
Yes.
have 20 minutes.
To add on to what you said, I'll give you an example. Last year, the people burnt down political violence. I belong to an organization called Eminent Women, where we bridge disagreements between political actors. And one of the things we say to youth when we go to talk to them in these attire bases and where they socialize, we say to them, when these people say to you, go and fight on my behalf, where are their own children? Their own children are usually abroad. But you follow blindly, they come and give you a few dollars or a few leons for the day, something that you probably use just for the day, and you go and fight a fight that is not yours. So even if you want to take active participation in governance, don't fight a fight that is not yours. Fighting doesn't resolve issues. Being aware and being knowledgeable, being able to do research and investigate to make sure you are fighting the right cause is very important. Okay, let's go now to my many questions. I plan to finish it, and then if you have any more questions, you can bring them. Now, I spoke about the three different types of participants, three different types of citizens: active, passive, or laissez-faire citizens. Which are you, and what evidence can you give us? So this is open to everybody. Two questions, questions 1 and 2. Which type of citizen are you? But when you say about active citizen, that bring positive people that are take action to bring positive change, not to go and fight. Those if you say you are an active citizen, what have you done to show that? If you are a passive citizen, why are you passive? If you are laissez-faire, you tell us why. So the floor is open.
Oh, I thought you were gonna. You think we're gonna? I don't think we're gonna have time to answer all of those. They can post them on the forum.
Okay.
All
right.
You can,
so okay, in their video that they will show, we still have 20 minutes, don't we?
Okay, go ahead. Yeah, let's see if any of them want to answer. But yeah, because
if they don't answer, they will. Okay, so we can skip those two for them to put in their video when they're answering. Okay.
No, Yakuba has his hand up. That's fine.
Okay.
Let's just
So
go.
what
When we
type
are
of
down to
citizen
like
are
10
you?
minutes, then we can. Yeah, Yakuba has his hand up.
Yes. So what type of
Yeah.
citizen are you?
I'm an active citizen.
Yes. How active are you?
Yeah. Last year, 2024, as a youth of my country, I started my WAS in 2022. I got my requirement to go to the university, but there was no finance. So, as a citizen, as a youth, I I sit down and think that I supposed to learn something. So I go along and find out what are some of the problems our community really need. So I found that there's water. The community I was living, there's no good water. So I thought to myself, I will go and learn plumbing. So I go to the institution and learn a good plumbing and come back, help my community to have some water, clean water, by applying some pipelines and other
Okay.
things to learn to have good water.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. So you help your community when you could not go to university and you had time on your hands, you help your
Yes, sir.
community solve the water shortage. Is that
Yes,
right?
ma'am.
Well done.
Yeah, sure.
Okay,
Good
I'll
job.
ask one
Good
more
job.
person. Yeah, that was well done. Anybody else? So that is active participation. Now, but are you involved with any organization, any local organization?
Yes, ma'am. Currently, I was working with Salwaco Sharing Water Resource Company in Bo.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Well,
what are
Dr. Sessay, I'm looking at time. I think we can take one answer for each question so that others.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. I'm going to number 3 now.
Mohammed, do you want to say something? Mohammed Bangura?
If anybody now should answer question number 3.
Mohammed Bangura. Okay, Mohammed, it looks like you're speaking. We can't hear you. Dr. Sessay, please proceed.
Okay. So the other question I want to answer, I want to ask is, how does the adoption of the power law of human performance help to be a good citizen? Now, this one I'm going to answer for you. How? Because I'm really, really passionate about this power law of human performance.
You are a disciple of Dr. Bagayoko.
Yes, I'm a disciple of Bagayoko. Now, the reason is, for you to be a good citizen, it's not just being active is not sufficient. Your actions have to have impact. You have to excel in what you do. For example, now Yakuba has helped his community to access water. That is the minimum. How are you going to make sure that source of water is sustainable? How are you going to make sure that that source of water is sustainable? So that you are not going to wait again until it dries up, then you start all over again. to make sure that you have such impact that that community will always have water. And then that will be impactful. And that means you have excelled in that area. It's not just to give them water for one season. For your academia, yes, you want to come out with a degree. It's not enough to come out with a division 3. If you want to excel, you aim at the sky, so when you fall on the rooftops. You aim at having a distinction. So when you don't have any distinction, you can have a division 1 or a 2-1 upper class. So I want you to ingrain in your brains this power law of human performance in everything you do, including your civic participation. Okay? As I was saying, the slide before this was next steps. The next steps, I want to see which of these participations you are going to get engaged in. Is it advocacy and social media? Is it community development? Is it national and peace building efforts? Innovation and entrepreneurship? Leadership and skills development? With this information that you've had today, I don't want anybody coming and saying, oh, I'm bored, there's nothing to do, there's no employment. Sometimes it's these civic activities that you get your first job.
Dr. Sessay, I think Mohammed was trying to say something. Mr. Mohammed Bangura, do you have a question or you're trying to answer a question? Mohammed, your hand was up.
Unmute yourself and ask.
I think
yes, ma'am, my hand was up.
Go ahead. Please go ahead. Okay, we cannot hear you.
Okay. Yeah. So your next step has to be ask yourself, what am I doing at the moment? How can I raise my game? How can I make sure that I'm not only doing mediocre things, that I'm not only doing the minimum, that whatever I put my hand on, I make sure I excel. I make sure I am recognized for what I do. Sometimes it will take a long time for you to be recognized. Okay? But make sure if you do something that is substantial, people will see you. You don't have to make noise. Let your actions speak louder than your words. So you have the option of doing advocacy and social media. And I know in Africa, in most African countries, because I've been to Rwanda, Kenya, Tanzania. In fact, Rwanda and Kenya have a very high level of youth participation. Rwanda has more youth in government, women in government, than most African countries.
Okay. Mohammed is still okay. Mohammed, let's try again. Yeah, try again. We could barely hear you. The mic is yours, Mohammed. Mohammed.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
Actually, I want to
You are breaking.
Okay. Mr. Mohammed, you're gonna have to just put your question on the WhatsApp group because we cannot hear you, and we really
put it on the WhatsApp group.
Put it on the WhatsApp group, you know.
And I'll get back to you.
Dr. Sessay will answer because we have to proceed. We have just 10 minutes.
We have not much time.
Okay,
so,
no problem.
Okay, so you have to ask yourself, what am I going to do? What do I do currently? How can I do what I'm doing currently better now that I know, according to the power law of human performance, I can actually do anything well if I put my mind to it. I can excel at anything if I do it consistently, repeatedly, till I perfect it. Okay? Innovation and entrepreneurship, leadership and skill development. So really ask yourself questions after today. Where am I going to take this? How am I going to do better than I do currently? Whether it's in school, whether it's in the community, how can I do better? And also think of which pillar of civic engagement do you currently participate in? Is it health? Is it education? Is it economic empowerment, social inclusion and equity, security, governance, active citizenship, environment and global mobility? These are all roadmaps for you. Roadmaps for you to find something you can be actively engaged in. And finally, I want when you do your assignment, where you are going to present your 3 minutes video on what you have learned today, I want you to be able to answer this question. What are going to be your next steps after today? What are going to be your next steps? Are you an active citizen who wants to be even more active? And how are you going to go about that? If you are a passive citizen, does this change your mind to show that as a citizen you have an obligation to be active? And same for laissez-faire. The government, the world cannot let us do whatever we want. We have to be accountable to each other and to the government. Because if we said everybody wanted to do what they want, people won't even go to school, I bet. Thank you very much.
Wow, Dr. Sessay, thank you so much. That was, and I'll be sure to let Dr. Bagayoko know you brought in the power law of human performance.
So it's become part of me.
It definitely applies to every aspect of our life.
Yes,
and
it does.
I am really thrilled that our young people are getting engaged and they are zooming in. We know the challenges of connectivity with power on the continent. We are approaching, I think we are like 50% gone with the systemic, the 12 strand systemic mentoring. And I'm very pleased with the participation and the students, like Mr. Salifo said, the students have been submitting their weekly assignments. So we are gearing up.
Good.
Yeah, we are gearing up for those who are going to make it into phase 2, where we actually start paying for their STEM education. We will need everybody to help with the fundraiser so we can pay for the students. But Trust Tech is ready, our partner. And I believe, Dr. Sessay, we are going to start the second batch in January, because this first batch would end right around Christmas. So we're going to give people a chance to eat their rice and stew with good meat. And then we start January. At this time now, we are going to have way more than 500 students. We're going to have our goal is to have about 5,000 students, but we need funds, we need grants, we need sponsors for that program, so we can even pay for the large Zoom room. Right now, we are paying for 500 participants. I want to encourage all the students. You are getting premium knowledge here. Don't keep it to yourself. Make sure you share every week with at least 2 people. Get them to subscribe to the channel, so even though they are not able to participate in this first batch, they can still be benefit. Our goal is to work with different governments so that they can implement the 12 strands, they can adopt it in their schools. And Dr. Sessay, I know you are in Sierra Leone. You're going to be getting us some partnerships with some students, some schools, some principals, so they can adopt our lessons.
Yes, the schools have resumed. So I hope to do school visits in October.
Yes, and we will do MOU with them, so that they can uh, they can adopt this, so more people, more students can. This really need to be a standard curriculum in all the schools on the continent, because even you who have been in academia for more than 40 years, you are learning from this program. So am I.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I really want to thank you for your dedication and for sticking with us through the wilderness. I want to thank our student coordinator, Mr. Salifu, who will be getting married soon, but he's always here. So we have
I'll be representing ABB at the wedding.
exactly, that would be awesome. Yes, thank you so much for that. Oh yeah, you'll be in Sierra Leone, but does anybody have a burning question or comment before we have 3 minutes?
Yeah, let me just add something. The good news is in Sierra Leone, particularly where the district that I'm in, and I think in many districts, many schools have now been putting computers in their schools because ICT has become compulsory now. So it's a good time to sell this to them for them to use in their schools as a mentoring program. And
Awesome.
we'll be able to support them.
Yes, we will, and we'll continue this work. All the professors are dedicated and they're committed. I really and Dr. Sessay, share the playlist with these principals. Let them see what we are teaching.
Yeah, yeah.
And let's get some MOUs drawn with them before you leave. Does anybody have any quick question or comment? Any student, kindly unmute yourself. David, you've been quiet. I'm surprised.
So am I.
Hi, David. You are one of the
Yeah,
student coordinators. Go ahead.
yeah, good afternoon to everybody. Yeah, I've really been quiet. The reason is I moved from Freetown to Kono, so I've been having this issue with this network because the phone I
Okay.
was using, I have issue. It was Samsung. Now I'm using Techno, so I think the network issues. Because initially I started this program today, then at mid the program, then the network I'm just
Drops,
coming back.
yes. Mhm.
So
We
you
can
see.
hear you loud and clear. We can hear you loud and clear.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
that's the problem I'm having. But I promise to pick up from where I stopped. So from now you'll be seeing me regularly.
Okay.
So
Well,
Well,
David is going to come and see me actually. We've
yeah,
not met.
okay. That's awesome. Thank you so much, Ibrahim. You want to say something?
Ibrahim Regis.
Oh no, we can't hear you. We can't hear you, Ibrahim. That's fine. What
If
about
you
you?
have any more burning questions, please put them on the forum. I'll answer them.
Yes.
Good afternoon once more.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes, we can
Yes,
hear you.
Ibrahim.
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you. Okay, that's
it's also
fine.
having issues with the network. That's the problem.
That's okay. And for those who are in Kono, I think last time, David, I don't know if you were the one that coordinated that, where you guys met in one place and then zoom in as a team. That's a good idea. Musa, do you have any comments, or Emmanuel Leby, or Mohamed Jallo? You've been on throughout. There's Gibson Christine. I know Mohamed Bangura could not. I'm surprised. Um, was it the other Aminata, the other coordinator, was not able to zoom in. But let me thank all of you, Dr. Sessay. Thank you so much for.
You're
I'm glad
welcome.
your power did not go off and your connectivity worked. So you can share the slide on the WhatsApp group. You
I
know.
will.
All right. Thank you so much, and thank all of you. I see Gibson is clapping. You guys have a wonderful weekend, and we will see you
Okay.
next
Yeah.
Saturday. Thank
I'll
you.
share this. Should I share this